Well, I should introduce you to not an associate of mine, but a good friend. Would you care to introduce yourself? Hello, you two. My name is Craig Faithbroken, and he's very well dressed.
I greet him and say, yes, well, I am Leaf Silent Shred. Unfortunately, I'm not looking best today, but it's nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Oh, sure, I own a tavern around here.
So, mind I ask you, why have you brought us here today?
To congratulate you for your victories, to reward you, and to introduce you to somebody who may or may not be another lead.
Well, leads are always helpful.
We could certainly use more of them.
Craig is another shady business owner, like I am. Tavern owners tend to be privy to plenty of information, and he runs a very successful upscale tavern that also sells Flayleaf. Flayleaf is a drug on Galarian, known for just kind of sedating you and taking your mind off things.
Okay.
It's basically similar to marijuana. Perhaps weaker.
Okay. Cool.
I nod.
Somewhere between marijuana and tobacco.
I reminisce and say, ah yes, Flayleaf. Wonderful plant.
But,
You probably had it before, it wouldn't be unreasonable.
Yes, well I say, well, do you have any information pertaining to the slave pits? Or Misery Row in general?
No, I don't particularly, but I've heard people talking about it here and there. And I wasn't close enough to listen to them, but I'm sure if you stay in my tavern long enough, you'll find out something.
Yes, I suppose that would be true of most anything.
Makes sense.
My tavern's in the coins fairly close to the slave pits.
And what's the name of your establishment?
The name of it is the Gore-Covered Sword.
Ironic.
Failing to see why.
Oh, it's nothing. It's merely something we encountered last night.
All the dead people.
Oh. Well, you're welcome to come on by.
There was plenty of gore.
Absolutely.
Very well. Perhaps we'll take you up on that. However, we have another lead to investigate later tonight.
Sure.
But you absolutely will see us later this evening.
Okay.
I nod and say, I suppose so.
I'm not offering anything for free, but my prices are cheap already.
I think we can manage.
You know what they say. Got to be competitive. And we did just get paid after all.
Indeed.
And I try to give out a laugh, but I find it uncomfortable in the presence of strangers. I'm like,
Oh, feel free to laugh. Don't be uncomfortable about it.
I simply take a drink of whatever drink is nearby.
I hope it's mead.
It's wine, at least for right now.
Wine is good. I like wine.
That's good. Leaf prefers wine.
You're brought out a meal of eggs with... I'm trying to remember the name of that sauce.
Hollandaise.
Yes, thank you. That's exactly what I meant.
Well, I apologize to Ono, and I say, Ono, well, it seems that we've held up your breakfast. I do apologize.
Yes, you have. That's how things go, though. I was originally thinking of paying you 15 gold, but you came late, so I only gave you 10. Ha!
I nod and I say, well, Soren and I were considering bringing you the culprit last night, but we decided that there was one too many bee stings and we didn't. Ha! And I take another drink.
Everybody laughs at the table. Particularly the dwarf, Craig, who's laughing for longer than anybody else.
I notice this, and I take up conversation with the dwarf.
Sure.
Unless there's anything you'd like to do, Soren.
Finger the gold.
May press us.
Other than that, kill time until we get to go talk to them priests.
Mm-hmm.
Craig seems like a
considered that.
very happy but very dismissive, discouraging sort of person.
Huh.
A little bit uppity.
That's fair. That seems to be mostly like Leaf, except not so happy and maybe a little less... what was the last one you said again?
Discouraging. Or
No, he's pretty discouraging. He's less... I don't know, you said something at the end. Maybe uppity. He was uppity. Yeah, he's less uppity. Less happy, less uppity. That's pretty much Leaf.
Yeah. Soren's sort of reserved, especially around people he doesn't know.
it's a pleasant lunch, and waiters come by and ask you if you want anything else.
I can't think of anything else I could want. This has been such a delightful luncheon.
I think I'm well.
After you say this, Honor leans over and says, "Remember, I'm paying."
I nod.
That's a good point. Bring more mead.
Yes, well, we elves don't tend to gorge ourselves as much as some of the other races.
You only live once.
I say maybe more wine then.
She goes off and leaves you to the rest of your table for now. And eventually she brings back the wine and the mead, and everything continues until you're ready to leave.
Awesome.
I have the music up way too loud right now. So electric guitar-y.
Honor's
Alright.
perfectly fine with encouraging you to buy even more alcohol or more meals or whatever.
Awesome.
So have whatever you like.
Yeah, I'm not particularly interested in getting more than my fill.
Yeah, I'll probably eat until I'm full, and that's probably about it. I wouldn't, gorge myself or anything.
Alright.
I might get a little tipsy, but not completely drunk or anything.
About how long do you think you're going to stay?
2.5 hours, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Unless we feel it getting uncomfortable before then we would leave.
No, Craig seems to keep conversation lively and take only occasional jabs at the other people. But he's a fun person to be around, actually.
Awesome.
Okay.
If you have kind of a thick-ish skin.
I do. Yeah, Soren's been called worse than anything he could come up with.
Alright, so when you leave, everybody goes on their separate ways. Craig follows you for a while. A long while, actually, since you're both headed for the same place, but eventually he goes his own way. Where are you going right now?
What time is it?
It would be about 4 right now.
About 4?
I say, well, Soren, we've got plenty of time left. Maybe we should go back to the slave pits until tonight.
Yeah, we'll go take a look around.
I say, I know it's not the most pleasant place, but we still have an investigation to do.
Yeah, we are getting paid, so back into the breach.
Indeed.
What parts of the slave pits would you like to investigate?
Actually, let's go to the ones that we haven't been to before. The ones other than Misery Row.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Make a knowledge local to see if you can know where they are. Because you've heard they exist. You're not exactly sure,
7.
or it's not clear whether you know where they are or not.
26.
Okay, you definitely know of one called, I believe it's called the Devil's Advocate.
Alright.
It is a Chilaxian, loyal, sort of slave-owning business.
Okay.
and they have their own slave pits.
Okay. Question though. Would they know me? Because technically, according to the Chilaxians, I was never freed. So I don't know if they would consider me an escaped slave.
You rolled pretty high on your knowledge local check, so you would know that if somebody's Chilaxian rooted around here in Absalom, it's likely that they don't have total loyalty to their home country. Most
Okay.
everybody around here, although there are many, many exceptions,
Mm.
they're loyal to Absalom first and then their home country second.
Okay.
And
I
it's-
just wasn't sure if they would go, oh my god, an escaped slave, hit him over the head and we'll sell him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shit.
Your most risky area would be the Chalish embassy,
Mm.
but that's back in the Ascendant Court, so you have nothing to worry about.
Okay. And again, I'm not even sure they would know, like, it was me, because when I got free, it was actually on a Chilaxian ship that never made it back to anywhere. So I don't know if they would even realize that I was the same tiefling that, you know...
Mhm.
Because I doubt the name is the same that I had then.
And there's also
Probably
your
changed.
age.
And that.
The
'Cause I've
people
been
who knew
gone
you once could have died.
Yeah.
Many of
Because I
them
have
probably
been
did.
gone 20, 40 years, so it's been a while.
That's true.
It just makes Soren twitchy.
Yeah,
Which it would.
makes sense. Would I know that you were a former Chilaxian slave?
Almost certainly.
Okay.
I don't
I'd
talk
say
about it
don't-
unless I get drunk, but we get drunk together a lot, so, you know.
I say, don't worry about it. If things get out of hand, I can put them on ice and get us out of there very quickly.
Sounds good to me.
They can't do much to me anyways, as I've always been a free elf.
True. Well, nothing for it, I guess. Let's go take a look.
Very well. Lead the way.
Alright, and off we go.